So, how's your guys' volume on the headset? It's
It's
good.
good.
Could hear you good.
Mhm.
Don't need it louder.
Oh, okay.
Um, what else? Take that off. Yeah. So another thing that I'm noticing too, like in the morning like this, people are busy with work or jobs or school or kids or just doing their own thing. So engagement in the morning like this is kind of slow, but it's okay because it's posted, right? So people could go back and revisit. um so yeah. I think with that we'll get into this. Yeah. All right. So good morning, Onion Lake, Treaty 6, Indian country. How's everybody doing out there? um Yeah, so I just like to introduce this kind of what we're doing this morning, just for the viewers out there. Some of you might remember, I think last month we had Dr. Saxon in here, Miss Brenda Rediron, and Mr. Grant Whitstone. And they came and made some announcements based on the wellness program, with some things that are going on over there. And we also spoke about this idea where we dedicate Monday mornings to discussions around mental health, and where we have our mental health, I mean, our wellness department rotates staff, and every Monday morning, bring in one or two or three of them to come in and just share what's going on in their programs or in the wellness department, and also have discussions around mental health. So that's what we're doing this morning. We'll have a little quick introduction. I'll start to my right over here, just across the table from me, and then we'll come to the left, and then we'll come back to me, then we'll open it up and we'll get into it. So with that, I'll hand the floor over to you.
Hello, my name is Verona. I am from here in Onion Lake, and I work at Healing and Wellness. In March will be, I think I'll be there for 3 years in March, end of March, and I started off in the cultural component of wellness, and then I was asked to help out with the clinical area of wellness, and I'm now one of the holistic support workers there, and I really enjoy it.
Right on, awesome. Thanks, Verona. Mr. Muskego.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. My name's Avery. I too am one of the two holistic support workers here at Onion Lake. I've been in wellness for maybe about 5 years now. I don't even know who I'm looking to when I talk to. Who do I do?
Just anywhere. You can look on the screen or look at us, or any. It's up to you. This is the camera that's on you right here. So
Okay.
yeah, it's up to you, man.
No, I too am from Onion Lake. I recently just moved home back in 2019 or so. Took a lot of time off work from ironworking.
We'll
I
have
am
to move this close.
I am now. I've been employed with Healing and Wellness since 2020. I too started off with the cultural program, um, mainly assisting with land-based camps, which I felt great working with. I came hand in hand with the skills that I had. And a lot of it mainly land-based wise. Connecting, connections, right, grounding, right, all of those techniques where I had endured and had to learn on my own living in a city. So a lot of these things came hand in hand with the job I had at the time when I was with the cultural program. A lot of camps they have are based on connection, your roots, identity, right, and a lot of groundwork. So my own ways, I guess, what I dealt with it are similar to the young people are dealing with now. So, with that experience alone, kind of fell hand in hand with a lot of the um, clients I work with. So what we do is we bridge the gap between the clinical portion and the cultural programming. A lot of people that are assisting the are wanting assistance with their mental health don't really know what it is they're seeking. So let's say for example, a somebody comes in speak to a therapist, but the therapist is not getting through to the individual because the individual doesn't even know what they want, right? So and then in turn we end up sitting with these individuals and do different perspectives and different ways of therapeutic means to help with their mental health. So like for instance, I do a men's group every other Wednesday evenings, usually at the Round Hall or Chief Taylor. A lot of the men's nights that I know that I have worked with is a lot of like going back again to the land-based teachings and activities. One, for instance, I'm very adamant about is there are men's hand drum singing contests, not contests, but evenings where we all get together, right? It promotes a safe environment where a lot of older men have always longed that feeling of wanting to learn to hit the drum, but they're too shy, right? A lot of men nowadays are still going through that, and young men where they feel where it's only entitled people that are allowed to go and sing. So these men's night promote that where anybody can come up, right? A lot of people, like for instance, envy people, I guess you can say that go on a power trail and sing powwow, right? So this promotes an environment where people want to learn. Not only that, not only the singing portion, we've got the land-based camp as well, right? That is an opportunity for men, young men as well as women, to come out to participate in things that they were never taught growing up. For instance, this couple weeks time, I've got a men's ice fishing trip out to Turtle Lake. This again is an opportunity for the men, the younger men, and the young adolescents to learn how to ice fish who have never had the opportunity to try it out or check it out more say, right? um, a lot of men I know my age had nobody to show them how to fillet a fish, simple things like that. To a lot of men and a lot of people, it's not a simple task because they haven't been shown that. So with this these little trips that we have gives an opportunity for the older men to learn these things that maybe teachings have been missed growing up. So this is opportunity to come back to our roots, all our land-based teachings that should have been taught to us but haven't, so it's stuff like that. Like throughout the year, our programming, our men's nights, and like again, Verona with her women's nights, um, share these experiences with our clients. Like even us too, we're still learning, right? So again, the options always there, reaching out to community members, to knowledge keepers, right? So that alone, just briefly touching upon, the stuff that we work with our healing and wellness.
Hi, hi. Yeah, so again, just for the viewers out there, part of what we're doing today is we're promoting the programs that are coming up in wellness. And like Avery mentioned, this Wednesday, the 15th, yeah, at 5 o'clock at the Round Hall.
5 till 7:30.
5 till 7:30 at the Round Hall. There's gonna be a singing night, a jam night, where we're gonna have we're inviting all singers. Bring your hand drums. There might be a big drum there, not sure, but just for the parents out there, I know a lot of the students at the high school they have a passion for singing, and when you go visit the high school, you could hear them singing during their breaks and lunch break and all that, and it's really cool. I think this is an opportunity for the young people to pair up with the older singers, the more veteran singers, and maybe learn some new songs that they can add into their playlist that they have, and just continue working on their own singing skills, and all that, right? um, are women allowed there? Female?
At one time we tried a co-ed one, right? But so many people showed up, right? So it almost turned into a little mini round dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So in time, yeah, there will be something like that in that stature where women would come out. It just that when we have our men's night, when it's just the young men or older men, it's our time to bond, right? Like everybody gets together, joke, laugh, sing some songs. But then when say a lady comes to our men's night, it throws off that vibe that the young men and older men are having together. So now the men become shy to sing, right?
Mm.
So it disrupts that atmosphere that we're trying to build with the older men and younger men, to where they feel comfortable around each other.
Gotcha. Is there an opportunity for like a woman singing night? Like, is that
Yeah, there are we we just, we're in the planning stages. What I like to do with our group is creating a monthly plan of what we're doing, and then right now I'm asking other people around me, like, what ideas do you have for a group, like to have for a women's group, what can we do, because um I don't mind like replicating what we did 2 months ago or a month ago, but I'd like to promote more s- different types of programs, like different types of presentations, inviting different women to come and speak to our women here too, our young women, to teach them things. I know there was one time we had TP teachings. I think that's really important for the women to learn, and also like going down to making baby bonnets, making waspisms, those different types of teachings. I do want to have a women's singing night, and most likely in the upcoming weeks, like I said, I'm still coming up with our monthly like planning,
Mm.
and just so like I'm more prepared for these days to come, and I don't want to just throw something, oh, we're just going to do this today.
Yeah.
I'd like to have something planned out. That's just like how I like to run things, and that way we're prepared for those days, and we're not just running around trying to figure out what to do that afternoon.
Mhm.
So I do want to have a women's singing night, and having different women to come and show us like different songs that the women can sing. And because we have full moon ceremonies, there's actually going to be a full moon ceremony tonight. I can't remember what time it's going to start, but it'll be at the round hall, and
5 o'clock.
all at 5 o'clock. All women are invited. If you need transportation, you can call the Healing and Wellness Center, and there's transportation provided if you need it. Um, it is it's really good for the women to come in to these ceremonies. To when you have something like bottled up inside, and you just don't feel comfortable sharing it, even with your loved ones. It's hard for you to express yourself around some individuals. It's good to come to the full moon ceremony, because that's where you could, we're creating a safe place for our women to come and share these things that they're holding on to, and just to leave it there. And it's almost like when they tell you, like at the sweat, to leave it there with in the sweat, so that grandfathers can take care of it for us. But it's the same thing at the women's full moon ceremonies. That's where we can do that there also, because there's a lot of times us women struggle too with the mental health, and we don't know where we can um, let it out in a safe place too.
Yeah.
So There's also songs that are sung during those times, so it would be good to share those, like learn those songs during those women singing nights too. So, and then tomorrow also there's a women's sweat. It'll be over at Bernadine Harper's residence. And if you need transportation for that, also you can call Wellness, and they have a sign up sheet for transportation every time there's a program happening. So just let them know that you're calling about the women's sweat and you need transportation. Leave your house number, your phone number, so that they can contact you. So, but the women's group, we've been running this program steady for 2 years now. This is our second year, and we do our best to run it every Wednesday night. But there's some nights that we do have to postpone till the following week. But we've done a lot of things. We've done a cooking class with Alicia over the dietitian at the health center. We've done canvas tents. We did a class on that. Um, what else? We did bonnet making. We did auspicins. We've done quilting, and I think like one of the other things that we want to do is uh, just showing women how to use a sewing machine in general. How to thread a bobbin, how to um, like thread the whole machine, and how to do that, how to use the stitches, where do you like adjust everything on the sewing machine. So I think that's really important, even how to change a needle on a sewing machine. So I think we need to break down those things first before we get into any other sewing projects.
Mhm.
I do know how to bead, but I'm trying to figure out like I think I do want to do a beading class. We do have like the materials to do some beading projects, but I want to do them small. That way we can finish off projects in those evenings, because it's hard to like say if we do moccasin making, it is possible, but I would like those same women to come back that following week to finish, because you can't finish a pair of moccasins in one night.
Yeah.
At least for like if you're just learning how to do these projects, you have to make sure that you come back that following week, or if you have to come back the week after again to finish them up, because it does take time, especially when you're like first time making moccasins, or even first time making earrings, or just those little things like that.
Mhm.
So I do want to do that, but it would have to be a really heavy commitment for some people to come, or some of the women to come every Wednesday night to do that, to finish up their projects. Because, and I think it's really important that we learn how to finish a project too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So since we're like talking about mental health and stuff, I've heard many times, like, since I um kind of like got into dancing, and kind of being introduced to sewing and beading and crafting and all of that. Like for myself, I don't really do it. I'm not really that good. But just from talking to people, like one thing I always hear is that like it could be therapeutic to sew and bead and craft and all that. You guys have any thoughts on that?
Well, there's a lot of things that work therapeutically with the things that we do. Like for instance, not a lot of people, but some do find it therapeutic when they're doing crafts, right? Not necessarily just the sewing portion, right? A lot of people, like for instance, carving, right? There's one there, and then the other thing is that works therapeutically is which I've found a lot of males lacked was outdoor activities, right? So a lot of people, like I know for a fact that I used to get wound up with so much stressful things in regarding to work. Like I had a cycle where I wake up in the morning go to work, come home, supper, bed. That was my cycle, right? At most times it was 6 days a week. It was overwhelming for me. So one of the things I found therapeutic for myself, which worked a lot for a lot of men that I work with, is uh, simple things like going up north. It was very therapeutic for a lot of men. A lot of men lost that connection with going up north, hunting, simply just going for a drive to see different different scenic, I guess, you know, from the things they do on a daily basis where it runs every day. So a lot of like I can't speak on behalf of the women, but a lot of men find it therapeutic when we go up north and say go get some wood, and then memories pop up. Oh, I remember I used to come up here with my Muslim. My Muslim used to take me up here, right? A lot of memories like that have them reflecting back to the good days, right? It gives them a chance to not escape, but take a break from our daily routines, right? So it's simple things like that. Even the young men, when we take them up north, to Tapuga, like to go set snares. Oh, my Muslim used to take me. This is what my uncle used to do this. Oh, really? What else did you guys do? It gives them an opportunity to open up these good memories that they had. So they're like, again, going back, there's a lot of different ways that are therapeutic for our First Nations, our nation here now. Like even sports activities. During the winter months, I'd host my men's night at the Chief Taylor. Again, there's just bunch of guys come out, and we have a sharing circle at the beginning. A lot of them are for our anger management, just small little talks, right? And then eventually do some therapeutic stuff, some physical exertion, like say volleyball, just the bonding to let out all that frustration and sweat it out and get that adrenaline pumping, right? So then have a good snack at the end, right? It's little simple things like that that work with the programming that we do for Ona and I, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like you made some good points there. Like being in the bush, being with Mother Nature, and like the roles even of just the trees, right? Like the
yeah,
function, like scientifically in the Western way, like the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Another way of looking at that is like energy. So if you're feeling stressed or depressed or whatever, and we hear like our mushrooms and uncles talk about this, like go sit in a bush or go for a walk in a bush or go visit the lake or hunt or whatever, right? Snaring, like Avery said, trapping. um yeah, like I just want to say, that's how I've always known my dad. Like he spent a lot, and he still does, like he spends a lot of his time up north, and not necessarily to hunt. Like I think that's a bonus, but I think it's just being like reconnecting back with nature and grounding and things like that, right? um yeah, and I really like what Verona was talking about. By the sounds of it, like you're always open to ideas and recommendations from the community, women from the community. It could be staff, it could be anybody. What types of things would you like to see going on in the community in regards to programming? Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, like right now, I was sharing with my coworkers today. I was like, I'm honestly stumped for ideas. So like I was telling them today, as this morning, I said, if you guys have any ideas for something to do for a women's group, let me know right away, because I I I'm always reaching out. An open book, and I always try and incorporate ideas, into our program from the community. What we need to, help our women grow and gain confidence and in themselves, and to promote healthy lifestyles, like a well-variety, for everybody. And if you have children, I'm open to them bringing them, just as long as they do help keep an eye on them, because we do host the women's group in the health center kitchen, and just to keep an eye on them, make sure they stay in the kitchen. And I do have coloring books, some crayons for them to use, or some of them do get into some of the projects, which is good. And I think it's okay to bring some your kids when you need to every now and then, um, because our children need to see us socializing with other people in a healthy way, so that's where they learn. And that's what they're going to remember when they're older, and um, you know, promoting that healthy lifestyle. So
Yeah. Even like, um, I don't know, just for myself, like, kind of one hope, I guess, for me, like with my daughter, she's 3, she's gonna be turning 4. Um, and being a like single dad and trying to be a part of her life. I know, like for me, something that I would appreciate is like being able to bring her to where women are gathering and just kind of have her hang out and try learn and things like that, just for her own upbringing, but also to try early on to get her connected to her roots and identity and the language and the ceremonies and things like that. Yeah, so that's, yeah, like I'm kind of glad that you mentioned that. um for me, yeah, it's something I would love to do for her, to get her involved with things like that. um yeah, so what about like opportunities for partnering up? Like, say other departments are listening to this and they're kind of on the same track with work, looking for ideas for programming and stuff like that. Is there opportunities for like teaming up, like combining resources or just whatever, things like that?
Well, there's always opportunities um, for other departments to reach out with us, right? Um, some cases I partner up with Jordy from the ICFS department side, right? So he's got a group of clients with young men, so do I. So we kind of, you know, work together, collaborate departments and resources and ideas as well, right? So, like for instance, this coming ice fishing is with ICFS, right? So like everybody else, like Verona mentioned, like we're open for ideas, we're open for partnering, right? So sky's the limit, I guess.
yeah, there's some time, like some days where we will do co-ed groups. Um, there's time we had a high top making class
Mhm.
that was co-ed. We did a bells and belts last year. That was a really good one. Good turnout. We did do a co-ed singing night. Was it last year?
Mhm.
Um, and then we do have an upcoming one. We just haven't set the date yet. That will be mitt making. Um, Hopefully in a few weeks we can do that. We're thinking shooting for the first or second week of February.
The
So
first week,
first week of
usually
February.
supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when we co-ed our groups, we have a crazy number, like 30 participants come in, right? So it's where we're at, where we're phoning around to trying to utilize a location that's able to facilitate our program with the amount of numbers we have, right? And the availability as well. Like say when like this upcoming next month or so, we got their winter mitt making. That'll be a co-ed, right? Rattle making, drum making, right? Those co-ed things are going to involve with needing a large area, right?
Yeah.
So,
And I think because there's only like a few of us who who run these women men's group. I don't run it by myself. I have my coworkers who do assist me with it. They help me with it. But when we're running large groups like that, like the 30 participants, it's really hard for us to like help each individual out. So we discussed that we're going to only take so many individuals for those evenings for us to help out, and then say if we need somebody to come in to show them how to make the winter mitts, we should be able to help the instructor, but also like make sure everybody gets the idea, like how do you do this, and be able to help them out and not leave anybody
Yeah.
sitting there not knowing what to do. So we do have to put a cap on it because we want to be able to make sure everybody knows what they're doing and the
Yeah.
instruction is being given out properly. So
Yeah, and if the group is too big, then it's hard to get that one-on-one time.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. All right. Okay, so just for the viewers out there, you guys heard there's some cool programs coming up. There's the singing program Wednesday. There's the ice fishing on the 20,
28th and 29th.
28 and 29. The woman's full moon ceremony tonight. Woman's sweat tomorrow evening.
No, tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow.
I think they said at noon tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Community sweat this Thursday.
Community sweat this Thursday at noon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's co-ed, right? Open.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got? Cultural program, February 3rd to 7th.
There's a land-based co-ed camp February 3rd to February 7th being held at the Bear Camp north of the Paw Grounds. Again, that one is all land-based, right? Land-based teaching, men and women. Again, you got to call the office to register. We asked for people to call and register. That way, we have a set number of participants coming, so then we know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
So, like if you and your boy want to come out, by all means, right? You, your boy, and your girl, by all means, right?
Yeah, and it helps with staffing, like getting a
Yeah.
proper
Yeah,
number, and then
yeah.
budgeting too for
Mhm.
food and
Yeah.
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
And then also like how many cabins we have out there, how many beds per cabin, and making sure all of that is prepared.
Cool. What else we got here? Singing night every second Wednesday. So this Wednesday there's one at the Round Hall for males,
Yeah.
5 to 7:30. And
5 to 7:30. It's not necessarily every other Wednesday, right? There'll be other activities as well, but this coming men's night will be a jam night, right? So that one goes from young teens to elders, whoever comes out, right?
had the camera on you, sorry.
So at this is the opportunity for people that are wanting to learn, or even just to come out and listen and check it out, right? I tend to utilize our local singers, right? All our song keepers. It's usually a good turnout. Like snacks are provided, and transportation's always available if you need it, right? So that'll be this Wednesday at the Round Hall, 5 to 7:30.
Okay, cool. And then Wednesday the 29th, tentatively in 2 weeks, they'll have another men's night activity.
For the next men's night, it's going to be the ice fishing.
Okay.
So we'll be departing on the 28th from the arena. Again, this is open out to like for our men's group, right? So like if you're interested, like call the office to register. The agenda for that one is we're meeting at the arena at 9:00 Tuesday, 28th. All events are out. We're heading out to Turtle Lake. So there will be some kids that will want to do the ice fishing, right? We got the guides going out there drilling the holes. We'll drill the holes, give them some rods. Hopefully they catch something, right? And then the other portion at the same time is we'll be teaching youth and men how to set nets, fishing
Nice.
nets. So last year we did this. We brought home, like, I didn't even count, 100 fish, and we dispersed it out to the community. So the first day we'll be setting out, set the nets, get to know each other, and we eat what we catch. So it's fresh fish all the time, right? And then the 29th, the same thing. We'll be leaving at 9 o'clock, maybe a little sooner, but we'll see, to retrieve the nets. Because this is where all the hard work is. You pull the net out, right? Get the fish out, cleaning, cooking. So it's a good opportunity to come and learn. Even if you've done it before, it's okay if you wanted to come out.
Yeah. So, silly question for you guys. How does this all pertain to mental health and, therapy? I know we touched on it already, but just for the viewers out there that might have missed it, because it's all hands-on, right? And, not just, I think, common sense. Just keeping busy helps with mental health, right? It helps battle depression and being idle and things like that.
Well, a lot of things I find that I dealt with growing up, and the younger generation is identity, right? We didn't know, don't know where to go, don't know who to talk to, right? Safe environment where we can trust one another, right? A lot of youth I find and male men are still dealing with abandonment issues. A lot of these stemming from broken homes, parents going to jail, all this other stuff where we've always felt alone. This kind of activities gives us a chance to ground ourselves and remember who it is we are, where we came from, and stuff that generally comes hand in hand. Like say for instance, we would take some youth up to our men's camp. Right, and a lot of youth who don't even know, our parents don't even know that, I'll give it an example. One of the boys was really good, had a keen eye for looking at game, looking for snares, rabbits, moose, where a lot of people have a hard time seeing that, right? So, I guess you can call him a spotter, I guess. Right? They recognize a lot of things, right? And some are natural at deboning, right? Taking the flesh off or helping with the hide, everything else, right? There's a lot of skills that a lot of youth don't know they have that we're born with.
Yeah.
Right? So, going back on a mental health side, it like I said, is therapy. There's different ways of therapeutic work. Right? A lot of them are hands-on. As easy as the smell of sweetgrass. Doing a nature hike up north. What is that? Right? They smell that, right? And it brings back their memories and a sense of calmness around them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we have some comments. So we have a couple of comments here. I just want to read them real quick. Carissa Mack, we should really look into getting another rec establishment facility that can provide all departments in our nation. One thing we lack is space, and concerning numbers of population is growing. So I think that goes back to what you guys were talking about. Space is a challenge when it comes to programming.
Well, I think that falls back to utilizing our new round hall if it ever comes available, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know that's a common one that I've heard, sitting in all these different meetings when it comes to planning for programming and stuff like that. One of the limitations or challenges is space, programming space. I think right now a lot of us are relying on the old round hall and now the new round hall, trying to get some space in the schools for evening programming too, and the hall. So yeah, and I think, like, I know it is on the leadership radar too, to try and address that. So I think part of the plan for community development and growth to address that is like infrastructure and building to accommodate especially the numbers in our younger population. That number seems to be growing more and more every year, so trying to anticipate that and get ahead of that and provide space for programming and budgets and resources and all that. So yeah, like that's one thing I'm feeling in this program too, is like the space is a challenge. Transportation is another one. And yeah, and I think you guys feel it too, which is why you guys are offering transportation with your programming. So that's really cool. Childcare is another one. And I think that's on the radar for leadership for another daycare, and I think longer hours and things like that. So yeah, all of this stuff, it is in the works, just for the viewers out there. Another thing before we go, we're already 41 minutes into this. If Avery, if you don't mind, um yeah, no, I remember Avery when he first came back from his previous job, and he said he was living in the city, then he came back to Onion Lake. And I remember we were trying to do an Escapos program, and we started off with a sweat at Bernadine's, and Avery was one of the guys that showed up and kind of got into that. But one thing that I want to highlight is like, he knows his language obviously, but I think ever since he kind of in the past few years and being really involved with ceremonies, the scapos, the elders, and then all that stuff, nowadays like his Cree is really good, and you can see him when he's out in action out there and visiting. So yeah, I don't know if you have any, if you want to touch on that a little bit.
What are we touching on?
I don't know, just the language portion, maybe, like if you have any words of encouragement for the young people out there.
Okay, one thing I'll share. Like at a young age, I left the community, maybe when I was 12 or so. One of the things I had dealt with growing up was igaga skate I dealt with a lot of loneliness growing up, young age, into my adult years. One of the things I noticed, like I'm an iron worker by trade, right? So I welded for 15 years of my life growing up. Prior to that, again, I was pipelining. I was job to job. It was to the point where 8, 9 years ago, um, just a little. I felt at times where igaga skate when I was in the city. So I was getting really lonely back there, right? So again, I had that, work and come home, work and come home, work and come home, deadlines, right? Inspections. When ironworking, that's a must for every complete job and project. So, anyways, some days I'd wake up, I guess you can say, lonely, right? So, and then I'd call my sister back home here. How are you guys doing? We're okay. When are you gonna come and visit? And I said, okay, I'll try and make some time. But then again, work came first growing up. So at times I do come home, right? I'd see the family, see the kids, see everybody. Oh, it was really good, right? But then when I drive home, that loneliness is still there, right? Dan sa may kispin kagaskit man taskut in Nagatagik. Like I felt bad and I felt